So they'll give you the proration, they'll give you the date, and they have you find the taxes for the year. So I need to know that X divided by 365 gives me X times 223, which they're going to give me a date. So I'm going to be able to find out how many days. And they're going to give me the proration. And I just go backwards and find it. So I count the days to August 12th, and it gives me 223. So my 2,328.36 divided by 223 gives me the $10 on a daily basis. And if I divide, not divide, now I'm going backwards, right? So backwards of this is multiply. So if I get my 10.44 and multiply by 365, it gives me my 3,800, and in this case, $10.9999, which was really 3,811. But I'm winging these numbers. They're not going to get you by the penny. Now, everybody good with this, or you want to practice one backwards?
One backwards.
All right. Taxes on the year is what we're trying to calculate, right? So what are they going to give me? They're going to tell me what the proration was. The proration was $2,857, and the closing was on March 16th. Just use today. What are the taxes on the year? All right, so my first step is to find how many days up until March 15th, right? So 31, 28, 15. $74 days, right? Now this is where you have to memorize the formula, right? X divided by 365 equals my daily, which is an X, right? Times 74 gives me 2857. That's my formula. Everybody agree with that? So how do I find X? Opposite, right? Backwards. My first one's going to be to go 2857 divided by 74 gives me a daily rate of 38.608108, just for the sake of leaving it in my calculator, right? Now what's my next step? Multiply by 365. My taxes on this particular property are $14,091.96. Memorize the formula, guys. If you can do it forwards, you can do it backwards. All right, any questions on tax prorations? Remember, you're going to have prorations also for like prepaid rents. For the sake of time, we won't go over that one. Day of closing belongs to the buyer. They're going to tell you, for example, that it's August. You got to know that August has 31 days. And remember that the seller is going to be able to keep whatever months or whatever days it was up until the day before closing. Other than that, he collected the rents at the beginning of the month. He should have to credit that money to the buyer. All right? So what I do want to go over, and then I'll just open it up in case you have any math questions. The last one is how to calculate property taxes. We'll go ahead and stick to the blind widow because that's what you'll probably find on the state exam. A property is assessed at $279,900, let's say. As I stated, we have a blind widow. City tax millage rate is 7.6. County is 8.3. And my school board is 6 mills. And I separated them for a reason. You need to do city and county on one side and school board on the other side. All right? So let's start with city and county. 279.9 minus how much? This property's homesteaded. 51,000. Why 51? We have 50,000 for the homestead, 500 for the blind, and 500 because she's widowed as well. 500 for each. All right. So 279.9 minus my exemptions give me my taxable value.
So do we have to know all the exemptions?
You should.
Okay.
Stick with the 500 ones, you'll be fine. Don't worry about like the quadriplegic, was it fully exempt, or the military. Just remember the blind, widow, and totally disabled non-vet.
How much is the totally disabled?
500. You're good to go remembering the 500. My understanding, right? So now I have a taxable value of 228,900 times my tax rate. My tax rate is what? 7.6 plus 8.3 gives me 15.9. Mills. Divide by 1,000. Mil, right? My tax rates expressed in a percentage or in decimal format is 0.0159. So I'm paying for city and county on this particular property $3,639.51. Now my school board is going to be 279,900 minus how much? 27. 26,000. 25,000 is the homestead exemption on school only. That's why I separate them. Because it's 50,000 city and county, 25,000 for school board. But we blind widow, so we got to add 500 each. We're at 1,000. My total exemption is 26,000, which will now give me my taxable value, which is 253,900 times 6 divided by 1,000, which is 0.006. Which is $1,523.40. I add these two together, and that's the total taxes on this property, which is $5,162.91. Any questions?
Yeah, the
25,000 times two, was it 25 for the city and 25 for the county, or was it just?
No, it's because city and county give 50,000.
Oh.
So it's not because it's two of them. It's because when they increased, and actually the tax and the test will change because we just voted in for a $75,000 homestead on city and county. But the school board never gives any more than the 25,000. All right, so even though it's increased to 75, the school board's going to remain 25,000 anyway. So that's the whole purpose of having to separate them. Now, there's the following question on the state exam. Let's just use the same example. How much did the homeowner save as a result of the homestead exemptions? What do? Do we do it without the homestead and then with the homestead and subtract the difference? You could do it that way. That's the long way. Or you could do this. You could get what the homestead exemptions were and multiply it by the tax rate, right? Because 51,000 would otherwise not be subtracted. So let's find out how much 51,000 is. And in this case, 51,000 times 0.0159 is 810 bucks. Is how much this person saved in city and county as a result of qualifying for the homestead exemption. And what will we do with the school? We get the 26,000 and multiply it by 0.006. So you don't have to do it the long way and subtract, right? Because most of my students want to solve this by doing 279.9 times 0.0159 and then 228,900 times just find what the exemption is, the actual credit you're getting that you would have been charged on otherwise. If it wasn't for the 51,000, this guy would have been paying another or this widow, lady, whatever, would have been paying another $810.90. Right? Does everybody agree with that? And we would get 26,000 times 0.006, combine the both, and that's the savings. Any questions on property taxes?
What did you combine into the total savings?
The total savings would be also doing this. In this case, 26,000 times 0.006 is 156 bucks that was saved on this side here. So 156 plus 810 is the total savings as a result of the homestead, right? If this property didn't have homestead, they would be paying $966.90 more. Right? Everybody agree with that? I'm going to show you how to do it easier. Everybody seems to understand it if I do it the long way, but the last thing you want is more numbers in your head. Another thing is if you're not great with numbers, you can go all the way to number 91 and start there, so that when you're not 1 through 90 and flustered and ready to get the hell out of there, then you have to tackle the numbers. So keep that in mind, guys. All right? All right, so then as far as math goes, I covered, what I know is on the exam. There's probably a little bit more than that. Anybody have any questions maybe from the class itself that wants to go over another math example? Keep in mind the number 43,560 for chapter 10, right? 640 divided by the bottom number. If you see the word and, stop, add them. They're not going to ask you how many acres. They're going to ask you how many square feet. So then you get the acres and you multiply it by 43,560. There's also how much, and this one comes out of one of the later chapters, how many lots can a builder build, right? So they tell you there's a total of 120 acres, something like that, and that he can build on 70% of it only. So you would get the 120 times 70%, and that tells you how much buildable square foot he has, right? Or sorry, acres. Let's do this real quick. Let's do this one quick. Because this one shows up quite a bit on the state exam. So 140 acres is my total tract of land. And 70% of it is buildable. The other 30% is going to be saved for parks, streets, etc. Zoning in the area states that my minimum lot size is 9,000 square feet. How many buildable lots do I have? So I'm going to get 140 and multiply it by 70%. I have 98 acres of buildable for lots. 98 times 43560, which is a very important number, you're going to need quite a bit throughout this exam, is going to give me 4,268,880 square feet. And I divide that number by what? By the 9,000. It gives me, you all following along on your calculator? So I'm going to ask you the question. How many buildable lots do we have? In this case, it gave me 474.32. So this is easy. You know it's 474, right? Here on the state exam, as I'm winging these numbers, it's going to probably, your calculator is going to say 474.89. How many buildable lots do you have? 474. Not 475. Do not round up. This is a zoning law, zoning code. So county's not going to give us the benefit of the doubt and let us build a house on a smaller than 9,000 square foot lot. All right? So you always round down in this case. You only have 474 lots. No matter whether it's 474.32 like here or 474.92. You come down. They will not give you that benefit. Any questions? All right, so let's just take a quick 5 and then we'll do 8, 9, which I know are confusing, and 11, and we'll see what else we can take from there. All right, those are the important ones.
How's your tide? How did you like it? Okay, tough learning. That's it. I'm really low. Go. My friend went there and she took the test and passed on the first time. Yeah, both of us are just related to tough. Which makes me even more nervous. I'm like, no, I don't want to fail. But it's kind of like learning it all over again. It'll take the city, but we'll say yes. Should have never did that. Yeah, they say you should go quickly because it's a lot of information. It is. If you don't use it, you forget it. You can't put in so much in it. You already have your test ready? No, I'm gonna sign up for it next month. I'm gonna take Gold Coast gives you one free cram class. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna study and then I take the class. That was in 2 weeks. Your test will be 2 weeks? You missed studying. Yeah. Okay. And Broward. It's an online course? So that was cheaper. But harder. Because now I have to remember what it was about. Where do you live in? So I don't know Broward, I live in Homestead. I was gonna say, do you want to meet up? And I was going to text each other, but you were on Homestead. April 4th. Like he said, I think it's the bad. But you still have to get it. Now that you're explaining it, I'm understanding it better. But when I was doing it online, I was like, what are you talking about? But it's just good for you. Yeah. Perfect time. I work with you.
Alright, real quick, I've had a couple people ask me as far as like the slides for the chapters. I can provide you guys those, I just ask for one favor. We're gonna send you an email with the link on how to get the red slides. Those are included, right? So, the red slides, if somehow you don't get the link on how to get it, if you go to our website, because not everybody's getting the link somehow.